Yeah.
Ooh.
Alright. Going in 3, 2.
Out of nowhere.
Hello, welcome everybody on Facebook, welcome everybody at the corner bar.
TNT is going hot. We hot now. We better get into this thing.
Welcome, I gotta get used to it.
What up?
Thank you. All right, so welcome to Tacos and Tequila Talk Live podcast. I am one of your hosts, Calisha Monique.
And I am your other host, Uncle Earl Nem, your barber's favorite barber. And we're glad that you're here with us.
Welcome. We have a special guest. We're gonna introduce you in like 2 seconds. Go ahead to the music man.
We good. I'm gonna pass it to the guy with the bald head.
Oh, okay. I've been talking. You want to pass it to? Go ahead.
I'm Andy Service. I'm owner of the historic Lincoln Building. I'm an attorney with service law offices in Kansas City.
Welcome back to the show. Please come down and get tacos. I mean, it looks like we getting loaded up early. Forgive me, I was running a little behind. We going live a little behind.
That's okay, baby. It was worth it.
Thank you for waiting for it. I was getting my life together.
The tacos for the listeners, the tequila is flowing, and we are about to talk that talk with Mr. Henry Service.
All right, I'm ready here to talk.
Henry wants to know what we want to talk about.
Okay, let's just do this. Let's start this out like this. Today I do have on my Armani wool collection, my tie, my Grandpa Gucci's on, because earlier today, as you know how I go hot on Facebook, I was accused by a very good friend of trying to be my late great frat brother, Kevin Sanders. So now you gonna get it. Just here now. I'm suited up. I got my Red Bull.
He's got his tacos.
I got my tacos. I have my candle. I have my candle of the evening, which is by Soy Bella, a very a local, talented sales lady by the name of India, Alaska. Soy Bella, Ocean Fresh. Man, this will get it going.
Our business segment. Go ahead.
Oh yeah,
we're in our business segment.
and I am the ghetto version, so you can call me Uncle Calvin Samuels. Okay. Today's fragrance is by Armani. It is because I'm the ghetto version. I'm not Kevin. I'm Calvin. Calvin got a job. Calvin, because I am Calvin. I am pulling on the essence of Mr. Kevin Sanders.
Got it.
Now the fragrance of the evening, gentlemen, is Black Carrot Diamond. This will have a white woman be like, oh my God, you smell so good. This will have the hood rats like, oh, zaddy. If you add a little kush, it'll be perfect.
Oh my.
This will have your alternative lifestyle, lady. Is it correct to say lesbian? Think about switching back. Armani Black Carrot. Get you some, fellas, you can't go wrong. Right on. Excuse me while I prepare myself for tonight's show and light my Soy Bella candle, Ocean Fresh. Excuse me.
Y'all introduced the guests.
We did.
Give a shout out to
Shouts to the bartender, Cash.
Hi, Cash.
don't forget the cook.
Cash with the mean Nina Pop.
Don't forget the
Thank you so much for these. Thank you for
Shouts to
your
Cash.
tequila right
Shouts
here.
to Corbin.
Clear tequila.
Shouts to the audience. Shouts to everybody that came out tonight.
And before we finish the black business sector, whatever, I would like to welcome the CEO of FPS, Frontline Protection Services. Mr. Don Taylor is here with his beautiful lady, Tequila Williams. Yes, FPS is in the building. Don't come down here and start none. Won't be none. He stay on go. He stay on go. All right.
You pass it. All right. I want to give a shout out to a Lady Butterfly boutique. It's on Truth. She was supposed to come down today. I should have reminded her to come on down. She said she wanted to come, but I got this top from her boutique. I do not know the address by heart. You have to forgive me. We're a work in progress, but we mean well. She's a great gal. Her name is Fallon, and she's friends with me on Facebook. So that's my portion of the Black segment. Of course, my name is Calisha Monique. You can go to my website to shop for my gear, Calisha Monique, CalishaCouture.com.
Oh, and you can find me on IG at UNKLE_Earl_NEM. Uncle Earl Nem, come to your uncle and get a cut.
For your King Michael, Aqueous KC. That's what I was like, okay. This is the Aqueous KC production, as you all may or may not know, but that is ran by the man over there, King Michael Johnson.
So service, let's get you started. Let's get you started.
Right.
Let's get you started. We know that you're a man of many talents. You have to run in a few minutes, but tell us what started you? What started you in the legal profession, brother?
Yeah.
Well, you know, as a black man growing up poor, they just point you to the traditional backgrounds. I'm not saying this is the only way. They said, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, be a time, not so much engineer. They said that's what they felt was success. And my family was into that, so they just told me this is what you need to do.
Where are you from?
Well, I was born in England, but I was raised in Canada, and I came to the United States to go to school.
So you got a green card? What you got?
I don't know. I didn't green card.
Are you official?
I'm official now. I guess.
Yeah.
It was kind of shaky at the beginning. I didn't have it all together, but eventually I did.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the U.S. Glad to know you love us.
I've been here well over 20 years, so I consider myself a part of the family now. Some people say you're not a foundational black.
Yeah.
So
If you are not,
they say 21 Savage is not a foundational black.
And he is
He's
not.
He's one of my favorite rappers. I like 21 Savage. My birthday June 21st.
That is silly because black people are the only ones who say that.
Yeah.
I think the people. I think generally people. Nobody else is saying you're not a foundational black. They're just treating you the same way they treat the foundational blacks.
I mean, you know, they gotta have. It's all a lot of name calling. You know, everything's got a title. Everything's gotta be defined.
I just want to know what is
be
people's problem with facts. What are people's problems with facts? You state a fact, you're bashing. They're not the same. Bashing is not facts.
No, I agree.
It's just not.
I think if you're an African American, a black person in the United States, you're treated the same way by the dominant class as everybody else. So we can make further divisions and just divide us by foundational blacks versus people who are foreigners. But it only makes that distinction for you. Everybody else knows better, and everybody else knows we're going to be treated just like you.
I think the perspective does not come from the other side where they view us all. And you're right, they view us all the same. Sometimes it comes from the fact that your perception of things may be different from the perception of a native-born black American. I think that's where the mention comes
Maybe. Well, just say their perceptions is different, but I think let's say you do call them foundational blacks, but then to treat a person different or to try to do the jigaboo versus the other, I can't remember what they used to call the chicks or whatever in that movie, but to try to create an issue or some sort of static from it is where I draw the line. Like, just, okay, have your definition, have your distinction, but leave them alone. You don't have to, like, debate about it.
These separate divisions divide. They don't bring us together. And we're weaker.
Right.
We're weaker when we don't perceive ourselves as one thing. Right? So, and to say that we have one perception just paints us all with the same brush. I think that some people may have a different perception than the people who you guys would call foundational blacks, but others won't. And just defining someone who's a foreigner as having a different perception is just as bad as anybody else with any other stereotype.
Perception pertaining to what? Just being black. I guess that's just broad and very general.
We're all one thing.
I think the problem is when we are not of the same, we don't seem to be of the same mindset at times. And I hate for anyone to be put under a monolith. And if you're not on the same, if you're not on code in the same mindset, you're probably gonna have chaos. It doesn't come down to really the skin color or where you're from. It's more about the mindset and if we're going to the same place and trying to get to the same goal. And I think part of it is that we have no code as a people, you know? They can say something crazy and say something wild and they will protect one another. One of us does something or says something crazy, we will beat us down. And I think that's the problem that I'm having with some different mindsets.
No, it's not from me and not from anybody who hangs out with me, right? So I think what you said supports what I'm saying. Yeah, there are different mindsets, but you know, I think you've got to get to know people and know whether or not they support your mindset or not.
Sure.
You can't make a blanket statement that people from other countries are somehow under a different mindset. I think especially true, that makes it especially true because they treat us all the same here. Like you didn't think that was important. But how are we going to have a different mindset when to the dominant class we're all getting treated the same? We have to be on the same board. And anyone who thinks differently is ignoring the fact that we all get treated the same way in America.
Yeah, it does help if we're on the same goal, especially when it comes to banking, the financial system, land, real estate, hell. We got to start flying to the moon. Let's go. I don't care, but you know we got to keep up as a people in general, without being a black-only society, which we've always done. I don't think there is a black-only society in the world, really, where you can actually be like, no white people. That's why we're incapable of racism, because we don't create systems to oppress other people.
Yeah, we don't create systems that oppress people, but I am one of the people, and this is where Earl might be thinking that I don't have the same mindset, is we don't create systems to oppress people, but that doesn't mean you can't be racist. Racist is a definition. I think, I always tell people we're stronger together as a community, we're stronger together, but ignoring people who are our allies is making us weaker, right? So it's not as though we can't it's not that we can't be racist, we can create a system where we're being oppressed, where we exclude people who could help us. And I think
white folks are black, self-racism or
sounds like people in
no,
general.
both. And we could exclude people like non-foundational blacks, like you say, that could help us, and we could exclude people like white people who could help us too. And I think none of that helps us, because if you're really in a war against racism, if you're really in a war against oppression, then we can't afford to just throw whole groups of people away.
Well, that's why I don't understand the concept of Democrat and Republican. Me, myself, I am neither. And it seems that when people put themselves in that group, they follow the herd, no matter if it doesn't make any sense or not. And that's really where it really gets really, really messy and chaotic, is that people feel like they know it sounds crazy on the Republican side, and just because they claim Republican, they will go with it anyway. And it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Whenever I could first vote, I know that I voted Democrat because my mama did, and her mama
Right.
did. So we're just following. But once you grow up and you realize how corrupt everybody is.
And see, both sides, if you ask me, both sides are racist. But here's where I stand as an independent. I'm like you. I'm like whoever is going to benefit us the most, that's who I'm going with. I don't care what party you are.
Which necessarily right now are the Democrats.
How?
Well, everything you want is articulate. So there's a difference between what eventually happens and what people are articulating. And so people are saying they're both the same. That's the bullshit.
They are both racist. I didn't say they were the same. They're both racist.
Republicans specifically vote against everything we want, and Democrats vote for the things we want.
Like what?
So
Like what?
Well, instead of doing that, you should ask yourself, what do you want?
No, you just made a statement that said they vote for everything we want. What is that?
Well, I'll go to a big one. The only party in favor of reparations right now are the Democrats. The Republicans have voted lockstep against it. The only party that is in favor of universal health care are the Democrats. The Republicans vote lockstep against it. The only party who votes for anything that we want. I'm not saying they give us everything we want. What I'm saying is that one party is telling you right to your face they're not going to do it and they don't like you, and one party is at least saying they'll vote for the stuff. So you vote. It's a tool in your weapons. So you have lots of tools in your weapons in the fight against America and its racism. You're not going to say they're both the same, so I'm going to throw away my AK-47 and not fight them with that and throw away that tool. You vote and you just continue living your life. But voting Republican when they're telling you they're not going to do the thing is absolutely.
But there are other things you want to try so too. I don't call them basic shits, but I mean, there's a bunch of shit out there that we want.
Which is why I started off by asking, what do you want? Because I know
it's already been, it's like, seriously, watching all these documentaries and finding out what happened years, when you find out years later what they were up to, first of all, they revealed the shit very little in the beginning. And you said what actually happens. So what people's perspective is right now versus what actually happens is they're both fucking us over in some way, shape, or form. And we find out in documentaries. We find out when people feel like talking about it. Now they want to reveal. Now the person's out of office. The person they dead and gone. We find out how bad the Clintons fucked us over.
Yo, give me an example.
And it's like messed up. We need the prison system and a bunch of other shit that I don't remember. What they call it, the high school, the roadway,
how did the Clintons do that?
The prison industrial complex.
Unfortunately for me, I'm not a historian. I get my info, I feed myself, and
I'll tell you what our community says about the Clintons. They say the Clintons, for example, had introduced the crime bill. So they say
that's a fact. Biden introduced the crime bill in '94. That's a fact.
Young Biden doing fucked up shit, but you don't find out about the fucked up shit because you was little. I'm 14, so I don't know. So now 40-year-old politician has to now vote, but I don't remember what Biden did.
I wasn't little. I'm old enough to remember how the crack epidemic was destroying the black communities to the point. There was murders on an epic scale. In fact, if you look back in the annals of crime in the U.S., the crack epidemic until the 80s was the worst.
They have total control. You gotta remember, the system has total control over what we see.
I was there. I saw the dead bodies.
I mean, I grew up with review, yes, but I saw white folks on crack too. So it wasn't a thing they targeted black folks.
Exactly. Nobody said it was. Our communities, our black leaders, our community said, we're tired of the dead bodies. What should happen is you should make it tougher for these guys to just keep walking the streets. And because politicians only care about being reelected, they went to their demographic that was going to reelect them and said, let's be tough on crime, and we all celebrated that. And
no, we did not.
They didn't do rehab. They could have put the people through rehab.
They are in fact.
They could have did something like that. They wanted to have these private prisons.
The one who killed your brother, we wanted them in jail.
They are in fact the best at cloaking detriment with good intentions. They are the best at it. Cloaking detriment with good intentions. And we buy it every time. Let me tell you how. Now that there is a meth epidemic, now that there's an opium epidemic, and it does not affect us that bad, but it affects the others, they're not throwing them in jail by the droves. But when the crack epidemic went down, they threw us in jail by the droves, and y'all said, oh, wait a minute, right, because y'all fall for the bull every time.
We didn't ask for the poverty, and we didn't ask for it.
We begged for that.
No, y'all begged for it.
Under manipulation.
Y'all begged for it. We didn't beg for nothing. We didn't beg for nothing.
Under manipulation.
Because I was old enough, okay?
I'm actually being serious when I say this. Why don't y'all run to be a politician?
Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation because you have to have connections, you have to have capital, you gotta have sponsorship. That's a whole nother dynamic we can get into at some other time. But it's not as simple. It's not as simple.
It's not possible.
It's not. I never said it was impossible. I never said it was impossible. I said that's a whole nother conversation that would take a whole nother show because it's so much that goes into saying, well, I want to run for office. They'll be like, where are you from? What's your pedigree? Who do you know? You got any capital connections? You got sponsors? You got lobby? It's not that simple.
How do we make change in that situation?
But we're going to...
I mean, Brandon Ellington is my friend. I feel like it's touchable. It's obtainable.
So...
Yeah, but you get people like Brandon Ellington in the office, but you should ask yourself, what specifically are elected people like Brandon doing? Like, what is Brandon Ellington doing in the 3rd district?
Here's where I'm at.
Building teams.
Here's where I'm at. I can give Clinton credit because during the Clinton administration,
You can't tell me specifically.
black people period, were making money.
Is that the same?
Okay, during Trump's administration, more black businesses and more black people made more money than ever. That's not happening now.
We wanted our
Bottom line, we need capital in order to build. We need capital in order to take office. We have to get it to the bottom line.
He literally votes against it. He literally votes against absolutely everything we do in this district. He voted against. It was 11-1 vote with Mr. Ellington voting against giving money to the protesters who marched against the police when they abused and beat them up. He voted against development. He was the only vote against the Vine District development. In fact, Lee Barnes got us the development that started, and it wasn't even in the 3rd district that we done. When people, the problem in our community is when we ask questions like specifically, people want to criticize politicians, they want to praise them up, but if you ask anyone specifically what they're doing, they don't know. Like I just asked you, said, Brendan's my friend, he's touchable, he's reachable.
No, I'm
but you couldn't figure out, you couldn't tell me one thing he's done for our community.
The ability to run for office is touchable.
Right.
It's not.
But you can't tell me one thing
You still
he's
need
really
everything
done for our
Earl
community.
said.
The problem is we are the only ethnic group that don't vote vigilantly for our benefit. We feel like we have to be the sacrificial lambs for everybody's cause. My mother told me, similar to my mother told me, she said, I will not co-sign for any of you kids because if I'm not good, y'all can't be good. And we have to start voting for us and stop looking out for everybody else. That's the point.
Yeah, well,
We always down on the cross for everybody else.
So how many people are on this voting panel? How does that work?
So you have a whole city council, for example, in each district. We have an in-district and we have a district at large. And yet we vote all of the time. And then we ask, oh, look, you don't even need me to say that.
They vote, not the people.
They vote, not the people, but we put them in to vote for us. But you should specifically ask yourself, how is my life better from having passed this vote? What specifically have I got from passing this vote? And then if you can't in your heart or by doing reasonable research, figure out what that person you voted for did for you, then they haven't done anything.
What has Biden done for you?
Huh?
What's Biden done for you?
We got a ton of money over this COVID pandemic.
Biden got you a... This man just said Biden got him a ton of money over the COVID pandemic.
Ton of money.
Whose names is on them? Whose names is on them checks?
Huh?
Whose names is on them checks?
The original checks?
Whose names was on them checks?
Joe Biden.
That's a lie. I don't see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Now see, they're gonna give, and I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. I don't know Trump to like Trump. I don't know Trump to dislike Trump. This is what I do know. That money, they'll blame him for COVID, but when them checks started going out, he did make sure the people got that money. When he was in office, black people made more money than ever. I know a guy who wrote off his new F-150 truck because of Trump.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know him to like him. Maybe I don't like him. What I do know is what black people need is capital. And we need capital in order to put people in office. We need capital in order to build. Biden promised you this, that, and the third, and you ain't got a damn thing to show for it.
Don't take my word for it. Just
Black men
what Earl just said is
got
absolutely the opposite of what happened. So the difference between African Americans,
I fell off a bike.
Look, literally,
Standing still.
the difference between people who have money and get money and sustain money is are people who are willing to find out the truth of things, right? If you articulate what Earl just, all that demonstrates is you never bothered to try to find out the truth of whether that.
I don't say anything I don't know. I don't say anything I don't know.
And so the fact that you think that it was Trump,
I don't say anything I don't know.
Are you a
Google it
Democrat
and start texting.
or a Republican?
I vote Democrat because the Democrats give me more stuff. It's not that I think the Democrats are perfect. It's not that the Democrats are always right. It's not like the Democrats promise things that they don't deliver. It's because when you're in a war, you go with your best ally, and the Democrats give African Americans specific.
The Biden administration sent $44 billion over to Ukraine for a war. We got people in Mississippi that has black goo coming out their faucets, and he ain't even sent the Army Corps of Engineers down there.
Did you know that?
Yeah, well,
He ain't even sent them down there.
Right.
You know where Jackson, Mississippi is most of us down there. But he gonna send $44 billion over to Ukraine when none of us are.
You knew
What they don't care about there?
None of us are. But you got, these people can't take showers or drink water because they won't even send nobody down there or send funds down there for the
infrastructure.
The infiltration system. That don't make sense to me.
Earl just praised Biden. I mean, Trump.
I didn't praise him for nothing.
Praised Trump for giving us money.
I didn't praise him for anything.
What he didn't say in that last.
No, don't put words in my mouth, brother. I didn't praise him for anything, brother.
What you just said.
No, brother.
What you just said was Trump did Trump that.
I didn't praise him for anything. Only praise one thing, and that was all.
Through the Trump administration.
Okay, that's gone.
And Trump didn't do anything either.
All I did.
What he wants to say is that the Democrats gave Ukraine money. Meanwhile, these guys, the Jacksons at Mississippi, the Michigan things, all happened through the Trump administration.
$44 billion over to Ukraine. No money down to Mississippi.
Years.
No aid down to Mississippi right now. Talk about that. Talk about that to me.
So how is
Make that make sense to me.
How is it?
No. He ain't here no more. I want you to talk about who you voted for. How does that make sense? How does that make that make sense to me, please?
What I as a non-foundational black, as we like to say, is what I understand is that America's got nothing for me. I'm not here begging America.
That ain't what I asked you. Make it make sense that he sent $44 billion over Ukraine and no money down to Mississippi. This is a first world country, and these people got black stuff coming out their
Because America doesn't like you. America doesn't like you.
You voted for the man who did this.
I voted for.
You voted for a man who sent $44 billion over to Ukraine.
Are you saying don't vote?
Not liking me.
Are you saying don't vote? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's what he said. He said don't vote.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
I recognize that
I'm
you
not
don't like
saying.
any of us.
I said vote for our benefit. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. Democrats have made black schools, make HBCUs come back down there every year to beg for money. To beg for money. Guess what Trump did? Trump said, I don't want to see you every year. Here, take a big check and get out of my face. That benefits us.
Google it. Google it right now. Who gave money to the...
You Google it. Why did Biden send $44 billion to Ukraine? Why?
He did that. He did that.
Now, we're going to move on. Now,
Can we get him research a couple water?
What's your name, big guy?
Listen.
he about to fall off his bike.
Yeah, beg America for help. Beg America for the... Remy and orange juice, please. Beg America for help. Act like they got something for you. Republicans or Democrats. All I do is vote with a tool and I go live my life.
Ukraine didn't beg for nothing. They cash
I
out.
don't think they got anything for it.
Cash out $44 million.
If you think voting is going to get you what you want, then that's the problem.
Wait,
Whoa.
Vote and live your life. Vote for the one that's closest to what you want.
I got a question. On the ballot,
He said his wife. That's what he voted for. He said he voted for what is his wife.
so
Right.
on the
Anyone else is not
Right.
the benefit of anyone
Right.
else.
Vote for the guy who's going to give you the
So on the ballot, can't you vote? You vote on the ballot, isn't it like Democrat, and then maybe the next station they always ask you a question, and that particular person you vote for, each one is in a different group. So you can vote Democrat here, Independent here, Republican here, Democrat here. You can like mix it up.
I voted for Bernie Sanders.
I don't think they're going to give you a ballot with just Democrats on it to vote for them, right? Is that how that works?
That's a good point.
100% right. I
Okay.
voted for Bernie Sanders as my guy.
Yeah.
I voted for him. When he didn't win the primary,
Yeah.
I voted for Democrat. I'm not going to vote for a racist who hates me, who tells me who has
Yeah.
They're all racist.
But
All of them. When are you going to understand that? You just said they don't like us. They're all racist.
when you
Henry
vote,
says there's
Some of your boss you work for is racist, but you go to work and he don't give you a check. She can feed your baby.
listen, I learned something this summer. I learned something. Don't let nothing come between you and your paycheck. Period. Don't let nothing come between you and your paycheck. Is it okay if I say this in front of everyone? You tell me in private about
There it is.
black people?
There it is. There it is. See, I'm with Service about the fact that voting is not going to get you everything you want. What's going to get you what you want? What's going to get you what you want is you're going to have to do what you do. Start your own business. Start a side hustle. Work your tail off. That's what's going to get you what you want.
Is that a
Speaking of
Republican
starting your
thing?
own business, speaking of, me and here we were talking, you know, whenever I can pick his brain and get some nuggets, I do. So, he said that the only people who say don't get loans, because I was being told, you know, don't get loans, don't do this, don't do that. You know, I get a lot of bad advice. We all do. We get a lot of unsolicited and bad advice. So he told me, what? Who told you that? He says, only people who say this are black people and poor people. Not all black people. Not all black people. But, you know, there are some, but I would like to meet more African Americans who are getting grants, getting funded, going for the bag in large amounts, crowdfunding, versus black folks that are like, nah, you need to just stay on the corner and hustle or something like that. I just feel like there are two different.
What about those who start their own business from working for the white man, average 9-to-5 job, using their money to support?
That's a good way. That's a great way.
Use the
Again,
bank's money.
don't let.
Use the bank's money. Look, here's.
There you go.
Let me just tell my people this, right? The people we idolize, the people we praise, the people like Trump and that, they have billions in debt. They don't care about debt. In fact, they hope they die owing everybody. We're the only people that, why are we not taxed? They hope that you know, one of the richest guys in the world, right? What they do is leverage everything they have. Like we as a community, we believe in God. They don't believe in God.
When you say
They don't
leverage,
believe
what do
that
you
there's
mean?
anything after your death. They want everything for their life right now. Right now, they're living, they want to be on a yacht. They want to have a $1 billion mansion.
Do you
They
agree?
want it all
I'm slow,
now.
Henry.
And
What's
they
like-
don't
what's-
care. When they
what's
die,
leverage?
right? If they owe $100 billion, they have won. They've won because they didn't have to pay it back.
What's
But they got
leverage?
to live $1 billion. Like, do you want the money in your bank or do you want the Ferrari? And so if you're leveraged completely and you've made the money and you're using a bank's money for all of that stuff, all they're going to do is repossess the Ferrari when you're dead. But you'll have lived and driven the Ferrari when you're alive. We're the only ones who care about the level of debt that it takes to live a lifestyle like
before we
yours.
go down a rabbit hole, let's keep it moving. Hold on. This is what else I don't like about the we gonna talk about finance.
I'm on finance and
This is what else I don't like about the Democratic agenda. Like I said, we're always dying on the cross for other people's
Is
other
you a
people.
Democrat?
Henry, are you?
Oh, he started to be Democrat.
He is a Democrat. And he
So this is what I mean by dying on the cross for other people's causes and not being straight on
all
ourselves.
these games. What the fuck is a socialist? What's y'all street?
I'm a Bernie Sanders guy. Bernie Sanders is a Democratic socialist. That's what I am. And when he loses the primary, I just vote Democrat because that's the next best thing.
And this is not about being racist. Part of the Democratic agenda is totally opening up the borders for everybody to come. Everybody to flood in. Let me tell you the problem with that. We have a lot of black men here that are very heavily blue-collar workers, and this is how they feed their families and build a legacy. But let me tell you what happens. What happens when he lets everybody in, guess what? A piece of the pie goes down like this because they're putting things on the table that are going to give illegals the fact that they can work without proper documentation. They're going to work for cheaper. They're going to also have it so where they have stuff on the table where they can get pulled over and not have the proper license, and they can't get their vehicle taken.
What is this rumor
those
that they work for cheaper? Do we really know?
Those are
Has
things.
anybody asked? Has anybody said, ¿Cuántos años?
I have seen it because I have had guys build my whole kitchen for cheaper.
They work for cheaper.
For cheaper. The other thing is, I'm not done. The other thing is that we made ourselves a permanent underclass because they won't need your vote anymore because they're going to give them the privilege that they need because they want to be over here. Now, this is not a racist thing. This is just about we are not straight yet. We need the jobs. We don't need anybody over here taking the job.
Earl would like to see us more.
Our piece of the pie was this small. Now it's going to go down to this small.
Yeah, so,
then they don't need your vote, and then you become a permanent underclass.
You heard Earl talk about foundational blacks, right? Foundational blacks means that they've been here. What they mean to say is, we are the original blacks. We've been in the United States for longer than anybody else. In fact, to the point that they can invent a term like foundational blacks so they can look down on people who came here after them, right?
And it's not
about after all these years, right? After all of these years, man. After all of these years, right?
About the fact
They're scared of guys who come off the boat or swim across the Rio Grande who can't speak English, don't have legal papers, don't have a social security number. They're worried about those guys beating them out. So that just tells you something about these so-called foundational blacks.
It sounds like some white shit to me.
That sounds like an excuse for your failure.
It sounds like some white shit
because
to me.
if a guy can swim across the Rio Grande and beat me out of my job, he deserves my job.
If they vote for whoever didn't get all the jobs, we should be
because I can survive.
We okay?
Nobody swimming across the Rio
Let them people eat.
And they should get as much. They should get whatever they get after having less shit than we have. If you can't survive in that environment, then it's your fault. It's not because of oppression. It's not because of racism. It's because you didn't create an environment. You didn't create a world for yourself. You didn't educate yourself. You didn't get the training. You didn't get the stuff you need to compete with a guy who doesn't even know how to speak.
He's only known in the stream of consciousness. He's only known in an emotional stream of consciousness. Straight from London.
All right. I'm gonna get it.
Emotional stream of consciousness from London.
I'm gonna pass the mic to the audience real quick.
Earl wants him to fix his kitchen and pay less money.
Now, what I will say is I did like that a black man owned the company. Hello, goodbye, straight from London.
He's exploiting the labor, but he doesn't want him here. That's ridiculous.
Paul, what were you gonna say? I want to know. I heard you talking.
Yeah, what you know? I was saying I'm Mexican, but I ain't that Mexican to where I can make it Mexican.
Wait, thank you. Paul said he's Mexican. And Paul, shout out to Paul. Shout out to Paul.
Paul's got one dry foot on the land, he forgets how his ancestors got here. I'm not. Look, just because you're folks, you got a dry foot on the land. Come on.
Did he say ancestors?
So they was there, so they came
Did he say ancestors? Do we want to speak ancestors
I want to hear.
Here you are, a generation later, right? A generation later, I guess. We've had 400 years of oppression here, and we should by now be able to beat someone who can't even write or read.
The goal is not to beat anybody.
If you can't, it's your fault.
It is. That's why we get
Don't beat
whooped.
each other. Thank you, Pop. We got to get a mic in there on the audience so he can get over this testosterone nuts.
If you can't be a person who's functionally illiterate, who can't speak the English language of a job, then what did you do with your opportunity? If you're black in America, you literally hit the lottery of places to be born as a black person in the entire world.
Straight from London.
Right. So
straight from London.
Yeah, us too. If
That makes sense to him. That makes sense.
you name another country where you prefer to be born with as a black person, and now you're worried about Mexicans and people coming across the border. That makes no sense to me. That you hit the lottery just being born in America as a black person.
We hit the lottery
You're
being born in America.
You can't speak English.
So what you think about PTSD? Would you prefer to be born somewhere else? I would.
Your opportunity.
Nobody.
Hold on.
Yes, America took my people and did what they want to do with it, but baby.
Did y'all hear me before saying they're the best at cloaking detriment with good intentions? And because she can wear a shirt, we hit the lottery.
They don't like us here, but they hate us everywhere.
Now see, that's another discussion.
In other countries,
They hit the lottery for this.
They're cutting off
They're cutting out clitoris for little girls.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they just shut a girl down.
Now we're going to the extreme argument.
Correct.
This is what
They have the whole
happens.
right over there.
This is what happens.
You couldn't drive. You
Okay.
would be here saying
This is
At this point, this is a war we can win.
Service, have you ever been shot at because you didn't get somebody off of a court case?
How do we?
Have you ever been shot at? Like you're I'm gonna talk about your job.
out 2
I'm gonna talk about your job.
for leading
let's get back to how we
protesting
get better.
Yes.
No, I want to get back to his job because he does have, he's done criminal defense, and I wanted to know if he had ever been threatened because somebody didn't get what they were supposed to get, or thought they were supposed to get.
Yes. Yes. On criminal cases, especially, I got people I got the family who the guy murdered, threatening me for getting him off. I got the criminal who thinks he should walk scot-free after doing whatever he did, threatening me. I got family members on one side. I got people giving me the sign like I'm gonna, yeah.
This is the first
So he
one.
does real
So you
criminal
get
law.
bullied.
He does real criminal
So you have to get bullied.
So he's on the good side. He's the defense lawyer.
But you got
All of the time.
shit
I won't
straight.
mention names, but that Amber Alert that came over your phone a few weeks ago, a guy allegedly shot a person, and the guy allegedly stole his kids. Well, I had that guy home by dinner time after walking him in.
So we got.
Hey, he
we
do
got
work.
The guy whose family
Service do work
family things.
up in that court.
You know, if you think the guy whose family loved me, no, I got threatened and whatnot. I do my job.
Let him hang.
Even when I do divorces, if I take half your house and your money and your kids were going to private school and now they can't, you think the other side loves me for that? Because I got to pay the maintenance and child support.
You definitely need devil's advocate.
Trust me, I have to get escorted outside of the courtroom sometimes from people waiting for me in the parking lot.
That's what I want to talk
They're
about.
ready to fight me.
He do real criminal, like that's real criminal lawyering. Hey, you brought up something important, Service. Divorce. Do you think that's is fair for men? Do you think that's fair for men? Honestly?
Actually, no, I don't. So we can actually agree on this, right? But we live in a patriarchal society still, and we establish the rules that say we're big bad men, women and children first, and therefore we've established this idea that men are strictly, their worth is only established through their ability to provide for women, right? Like nobody cares nobody cares about how men live or their happiness. They care about how women are happy and whatnot. What do they say? Happy wife, happy life. You don't hear a similar thing for men. What they care about is men's ability to provide. If men can provide, you have some kind of a worth to society. But if you can't provide, you are basically not worth anything. Now, do I agree with that? No, I don't, because as a man, I think my worth should be just as equal as women. But we established the whole world where we've decided that the only good men have to a woman is their ability to provide for them.
Men did that. So it's like it backfired. So the patriarchal side that y'all created
because of that
backfired on y'all.
Now let me point out that black men never had the power to make policy. We didn't do nothing. We didn't make that policy.
Hey guys.
That policy was put upon us. Okay? We never moved policy. So when black women say we oppress them, you're a liar. Because we've never moved policy. We've never made policy. We can't oppress anything. They oppressed you. Let's just get that straight. I didn't make this divorce system.
What black woman said that?
No, you said it backfired on y'all. It didn't backfire on y'all.
On men.
No, see, no. We didn't make. I want to be clear that we didn't make the policy that backfired.
I mean, I get it.
Let's be clear.
I'm telling you, Earl, what's his name?
Let's be clear.
What's his name from Good Times? He was what? The breadwinner.
He was Dynamite. Now
he was the dad. Good Times. The dad from Good Times. James Evans. I mean, that is our patriarchal. That's my idea.
We support it now. So Earl
and he was cool with it.
Earl is right. We did create the system, but we now support it.
And if your man got some muscles too.
Now, she don't with the muscles, and I don't need to know how we got there. She got real hot.
Yeah, he got some money, some muscles.
I don't know what happened.
He got them 2 M's. You know what I'm saying? Them M's.
And men today, for some reason today, we have become somehow strictly, can I say, dicks and wallets? That's what we've become.
I mean,
just dicks and wallets.
Yeah, but we support that as men, which is why
no, we don't. No, we don't.
Be a dick.
Don't put that, brother, please, brother. Don't put those words in my mouth, brother. Don't put those words in my mouth, brother.
Don't do it.
Please, brother.
Don't be a dick in the wall.
Don't put, brother, don't put those words in my mouth.
Okay, black men.
Now,
don't think
what's the first thing we do?
I'm gonna have to get on my
men are practical.
Don't do that, brother.
I'm gonna give you some.
I'm glad you're here.
What's the first thing?
Please don't put those words in my mouth.
What's the first thing? So look, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you a personal, and you guys can roast me all you want. When I used to go out to the bars and chase girls, I never bought a drink for a woman in a bar. Never. I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I didn't have the money. I didn't do it because I didn't want to establish the tone that I have to pay money or do something in order to get your attention.
Well, you ready to get roasted?
Right.
Smart man.
So listen. So if you take that, if you extrapolate that just as a small example, what's the first thing a guy does? He wants to impress a woman. He's gonna buy her drinks. He's gonna get her hair done. He's gonna get her nails done and all that stuff. And what you're saying, right? What you're saying, your worth to that woman is your ability to spend money. Is your ability to spend money to make her happy. And what I tell, and if you listen to this, if you don't take anything else from me as a divorce lawyer and as a criminal defense lawyer, I can tell you. What you should do as young black men, as young men, is find a woman who is your equal, who contributes just as much to you as a woman to society, that contributes the exact same amount. That way, if she leaves you, right, she's taking half her stuff. And you're like, okay, you half the stuff you helped me build, you helped me get it, take your half of the stuff. And you're not upset. It's because we've set ourselves up.
What about them all your stuff?
Knock it off. Knock it off right now. Knock it off. He just conflated being a man with being a simp. He just conflated the two. And that's not right. Knock it off right now. Okay? Buying a woman at a drink. Buying a woman a drink at the, oh, hey, this is what he said. I'm addressing him, baby. I'm addressing him.
No, it's the patriarchal idea.
Being at the bar, if I drink good, the lady with me, because I like good drinks, I may get her a good drink. That does not translate into me getting her hair done.
Maybe
it does not translate to me getting her nails done. It does not translate to that.
But I'm not buying a drink if you expect it. No way.
Does not. This is when it's wrong. When it's wrong, the only reason why she's wrong is if she says, "Wait, you ain't gonna buy my friend a drink? Take my drink back. You go with your friend." That's the only time it's wrong. That's the only time it's wrong. Now buying a drink for a woman. If you gotta complain about buying a drink for a woman, you should stay home and be in the restroom with lotion. Knock it off.
No, it's about the mind.
Knock it off.
It's the mind frame of the woman.
A mature person is not gonna think like that.
She just gonna come.
But somebody who has that motive.
Motive.
Everybody has their own motive.
The MO.
Don't get me wrong, woman does not look at it as an expectation.
Don't get me wrong. I bought
so we're not talking. So y'all can't say it's the expectation for
reach for your bag.
Well, no, it's not.
Reach for it. I'll buy the drink. I'm not.
But it was a lot of women though.
But if you think that's my role, I'm not doing it.
Growing up a few times, but fortunately for me, I had my own money and the ability to make my own money. So you know better. You know not to go to the club.
You can expect what you want to expect.
You know not to go to the club.
As soon as you ask me for something else, that's where your expectation stops. Knock it off.
But
they're gonna call you a bum because
knock it off. If do I care? I don't.
No.
I don't call you a bum. If do I care?
Well, she's ratchet.
I'm a man.
She's ratchet.
I don't care. Knock it off.
Why are we talking about ratchet?
Knock it off again.
Why are you talking
She's
about
gonna call you a bum.
That's a ratchet woman you're talking about.
Here, you take that shot and watch my bum
That's a ratchet.
get another shot.
She's being ratchet. And I ain't talking about fun.
Get my car and drive
on your
off.
headlights ratchet.
Knock it off. Yes.
Without worrying about it, like, hey baby, you want a drink? And then
no problem.
But then let's say every time they go out, she just looking at you like a puppy, like a pit bull.
And now look, I got a puppy. You sit and wait for me to get you a drink. Be a man, knock it off. Be a man, knock it off.
So we're mad. We're mad.
She's gonna sit over there in the corner and wag her tail because she's immature. So she made herself a puppy.
She's not worthy of your time. You want to get you somebody equal that's just
little bit of a
that kind of thinking that's got you paying alimony. That's the kind of thinking that's got you.
You know what? I'm gonna say this.
That kind of got you.
I'm gonna say this. Now that I'm back on the market, I'm gonna start buying you niggas drinks at the bar. I'm gonna have you niggas Gucci.
I have done
They
it.
would be so shocked.
I have done it. Be like, hey, what you something to drink?
They would be so shocked.
I wanna do it just to see what a dude will do. Oh
They
my
would
God.
be shocked.
I'ma give me some.
Shocked.
Those are for me.
Is that how men think?
Hey, I had a chicken send me a order of chicken wings one day in the club.
Hey, see, that's the woman. See, that's the woman that like you. Send me an order of chicken wings. Don't send me no drink. Send me an order of chicken wings. That means
She
something.
care about what's on your stomach.
That means something.
I want some more.
See? Did you get on?
Keep your little funky drink.
You got that girl, right?
Keep your funky drink. Send the wing.
How many kids y'all got?
Send the wing.
See?
Rachel man,
Won on that night, right?
Send the wing.
A winning night for you, right?
I like that.
See? Women are gonna ask.
Hey, he just hit it on the
You
head.
gotta pay.
Hey, ladies, don't send him in a drink. Send him some chicken wings.
And I will.
Send him some wings.
And I will.
Huh?
You want some hot sauce?
Send him some wings, you hear me?
And I'm gonna give you the whole bottle. You want
Make sure they have some fries and hot sauce with it too.
Right.
Got you.
Blue cheese and ranch.
Is that right, sis?
What is it?
You making wings every night? Every night house? You making wings, sis? Fresh ones.
How many? Because I eat them about 10 at a time.
I'll even get you one better, fellas.
6 pieces.
This is what I have done before. See a lady. I've seen her in the club. She's walking around. She's pretty attractive. I'll wait till she gets to the bar. I'll walk up to the bar, act like I'm in a rush. She's already ordered a drink. I'll order my drink and I'll pay for both of them. Walk away. I'm gonna tell you what that does. What that does is she's used to men buying her a drink and they think she owed him something. But if you buy her a drink and be like, hey, it's cool, keep change, hey, all right, and then walk off, boy, I promise you, boy, she will look for you almost the rest of the night.
So it's still game, though. It's still game. It's still some type of game. It ain't like you just bought the drink because you worried about it being a little parched. She a little parched.
I don't know her. I don't care about her throat. I do care
syphilis.
I don't care
You
about
care
her.
about her throat. He care about her throat, but he don't care about that.
I don't know her. I don't care if she's
What I don't like is,
No, but you gonna see her next weekend.
Right.
The next weekend she gonna remember you like that.
Exactly. See, he got it. Paul has it.
Again.
Paul got it.
He plotting on you, sis.
You go.
He already got it. Your panties off already. Your panties off already. So it's time for us. So it's time for us to get ahead of the game, ladies. Get ahead of the fucking game.
She's right.
You feel me? How many of you ninjas don't want socks?
She's
You
right.
understand?
She's right. She's exactly
How
right.
many? And I had to learn that. And also,
I don't even know how we got there, but she's right. I don't even know where she's going, but she's right.
all I'm saying,
What are we talking about? Knock it off.
what I don't like is a man who, when you go over to a man's house and then he thinks you're supposed to have sex with him, that to me is a creep.
Why are you at the man's house?
Yeah, you messed with the wrong man.
I'm not saying it's automatic.
Stand up, creep. Stand up, creep. Stand up, creep.
Wait a second.
Creep.
I'm gonna tell you who's
What time are you at the guy's house?
Let me tell you
Wait
who's
a
free.
second.
Let me tell you who's free.
What time are you
Why
at the guy's
we
house?
can't? So a woman can't be friends with a man? Is that
You can't come over my house at 2:30.
I'm getting my
You can't come over my house at 2:30.
I'm getting my
Fraser.
I'm getting my tea. I'm
You can't
getting
come over my
my
house at 2:30. Talk about it. I don't know myself this song. I'm trying to get you. Knock it off.
So stay home, ladies, because he's not your friend.
I'm gonna tell you what's
He's
a
up
treat.
to something.
I'm gonna tell you what's a
Stay
treat.
home.
You thought I wanted to watch Fraser when you came to my crib?
It could be. I ain't even give you.
I don't watch no Fraser. Bust it.
We're watching reruns at 2 in the morning.
I didn't even give you horn dogs.
Let me tell you who the creep is. This is the creep.
I ain't even give y'all time.
Seriously, tell me what you thought was going to go down.
You keep
What you
saying 2
thought?
in the morning. It could be
1 in the morning.
2 p.m., 4. It don't matter, ladies. You're at risk 24 hours.
So I'm not your brother, but you're at my
You're
crib.
You're at risk 24 hours a day.
Oh, my
The whole
God.
idea of Netflix and chill is
Listen,
straight up bullshit.
she'll come over your house
They
at
don't
2 in the
want you.
morning
They don't want
and won't
you.
give you money. She's a creep. Knock it off.
They lie too. They lie. They don't know how to talk. They lie.
What do you think was going to
And
go
you
down?
got a
From
wife.
a woman's perspective, what was
You.
going to go down?
I
I tell you to come
Where's
down,
your wife?
Netflix and chill. What do you think's going to go down?
The truth ain't worth the squeeze.
You're not gonna milk me
He
with my
just
great personality.
said, he just said it's not fair. Why am I gonna marry you?
Yeah, I'm
So
getting
you
something.
can screw me. Knock it off.
I just want to know. I seriously want to answer this question. I say, come to the crib, let's Netflix and chill. And I'm not your brother or your daddy. I'm just a
At
guy.
2 in the morning.
Tell me what you think.
Why do you keep saying 2 in the morning?
Because you said it don't matter. You said it don't matter.
What else going down?
What you say? Masculine energy.
Oh my God!
You
Yeah,
can
you're gonna
get
get
that
masculine energy.
Nope.
Yeah, you're gonna get that.
Y'all wanna stick that ring. Y'all wanna stick that ring in something.
That's masculine energy right there. That's
That is
That's masculine energy.
that's masculine energy all day.
Intrusion.
Okay.
It's intrusion.
Really? Really? Like you're. So I'm trying to get with you. You're shocked that that's happening.
No,
You're like, oh
I'm
my
not
God!
shocked.
I can't believe he wanted to have sex.
I can't believe
You're
it.
sitting there.
He
I don't
wanted.
know. What the hell? I came home. I came over to watch Game of Thrones.
Patriarchal
And he's trying to have sex with me.
society.
Oh, you're so wrong for that. This is what you're thinking.
Y'all just some fucking horn dogs.
All
Thinking
men are
what y'all
horn
did.
dogs.
Thinking what y'all
Knock
did.
it off.
What is it called?
Oh, we came
What is
on
it called?
money.
You wanting
We
male?
came on money.
Listen, ladies.
Some
What is it called?
bullshit.
Yo man, horn dog.
I don't want shit from y'all. I don't be wanting nothing. Be independent, so I don't be wanting nothing from y'all. But y'all always want something from us. But soon we say something
don't
about
know
some
how
money,
you got
what
there.
you mean? Coochie and dick are even exchange. She don't want you.
God.
Don't come over my house. Don't come over my house.
What happened to
Don't come
me?
over my house. Don't come over my house.
You
You don't want me.
I
Stop
thought you
my
wanted
block.
my
Let me
male
come over my
interaction.
house.
Now you don't want me? What are we doing?
Listen, they don't even want you.
You don't even come on my block.
They really, men are so fucked up, y'all. They really only see you a whole woman. But when you walking through there, all they see is your grande panocha. That is all they fucking see. That's it. They only see They only see their pop. And then they only see titties. They see teeth. There's niggas that like teeth out here. So
Did you say it's niggas that like teeth?
tell her to go Netflix and chill with a dude?
Now I know. Now I know. Okay,
because you right away know. But
I will tell her. Little Brandon.
Confused if I'm there.
Little Brandon, but she gonna be so hurt because she gonna be like, Mommy,
let me ask y'all something. How many times have y'all ever gone over to watch a movie and y'all actually
I didn't have nobody telling me that.
You thought the guy was trying to.
I didn't have nobody telling me that.
You thought the guy was trying to read the Bible to you? Come
They
on.
do. Listen, I was 18 years old. I had a dude call me and tell me, listen, I prayed about it, and God told me that me and you supposed to be together. We only knew each other for 3 weeks.
That's your
that.
What do you mean?
You were there.
Y'all use these words like play or bought. It's not our fault that you're a liar and only lies come out your mouth. Y'all know what made.
I'm glad she said that.
You got married under God, dude.
I know, but I know that God's not trying to give Gucci advice.
Dude, when you die, you're gonna see Kim again. You think you're gonna get your 12 wives?
Look, I wasn't that smart, but I know God's not telling me how to get laid. So I would have peeped that out. I would have peeped that part of it out. So.
Men say it, he know I'm in church. You know what I'm saying? He know I'm heavy. I'm heavy in church.
They love it.
You so.
We don't love it. Sick of
lies.
Creep.
All you did was give guys a whole line of game. I got to go to church.
No. They
tell chicks that God wants me.
I gave it to them. No, you niggas are born with this shit. You gotta be. And then you got supporters. You got supporters.
Hit the churches up, man. Churches, that's where it's at.
You got supporters like other men who tell you, hey, if you ain't got enough women, you ain't doing it right. Y'all support each other. Like us women, we don't really spew toxic shit to each other.
Did you know that?
I'm your sister, I'm gonna say, girl, he ain't prayed on shit. He's just trying to link.
That's not toxic. That's not toxic. Those are warnings. Those are warnings. Those aren't toxic information. Like, I'm literally learning how to be a female dog right now because
let me tell you.
Yes, I'm listening to the gangster rap
Is it
and I'm
something possible
learning.
for a woman to do that?
I'm learning. I gotta keep up.
Because everything seems to be
How women are toxic to each other.
Let me finish my story.
This is how women are toxic to each other. How many stories you gonna take? Just please. How many you gonna take?
Come on.
I stopped talking to him. And he disappeared. So that was when I learned that boys lie. I didn't date growing up. I was very sheltered.
He did what?
And then, when I said, well, no, I still don't want to, I don't want to have sex. He was like, he never answered the phone again. He completely disappeared. I was ghosted at 18. That was my first time being ghosted. As fine as I am. So, us fine bitches, we got a running list of being ghosted. It's time for us to say, fuck these niggas, dog these niggas out, get that money in court, whatever you gotta do. I don't care. And I can admit that I'm feeling toxic.
Now,
because we gotta keep up. Like,
let me explain to you how women are toxic to one another. We're telling each other toxic. That statement. And also, a group of girls will get together, a group of women will get together, get ready to go out. No, her girl looks trash. And she will be like, girl, you can wear that, work it. She looks like garbage.
That's your perspective.
And they will tell them they look good.
Because they want to be.
You know they don't look good.
That's
toxic. That's toxic.
I don't know any homegirls like that.
They don't want their friends to be better than them.
Exactly. See, they using their friend they know look crazy to make them look better. That's toxic.
That's toxic.
She can say, girl, you probably need to change.
Exactly.
How about that?
Come on. You know you don't look crazy. Come on.
That's what
I'm gonna say this. If you hanging with a homegirl, usually homegirls are light. It ain't gonna be that one that's gonna be dressing jacked up. You're not even gonna go out. I don't know who does that. Maybe that was some shit read on Facebook. No, please, because my bitches come bad. First of all, I'm always by myself. First of all,
we're not talking about you.
But what I'm saying is, ain't nobody around me looking hot.
We have a whole cool. We have a whole thing called a wingman. You know what the wingman's job is? Is to take on
the girl.
Is he dusty? Is he dusty?
The girls knew they came out with the one chick so they could look better, and the wingman's got to
Dusty is relative to the person standing next to.
That's not y'all friend. And y'all bad people. And there's a hell for a motherfucker. Bad people. Y'all are bad people.
Chick that you brought out of the house looking waste. You knew she wasn't good looking. You took her out of the house, and all she does all night is hate. All she does.
I guess I didn't miss out on my friends.
Is hate on the guy.
I guess I didn't miss out. I didn't miss out. Now I see why girls don't want to hang with me because I steps out and I'm like every day.
You got that one friend who's gonna go, no, don't do it. That's the girl, and that's the one your friends are like, talk to the chicken.
Erica Banks was like, if you don't look good, you can't go out with me. And her saying that is cool. She can say what she want to say, whatever. But I do not use a woman perceived as unattractive to pump myself up. That's some insecure shit. That's some weak bitch shit.
You didn't say that's what you did.
Yeah, but how many times?
I can say that.
How many times has a guy been trying to get with you, and whoever you're with, been like, no, you gotta go.
I have had haters.
See?
My own roommate.
Then the wingman kicks in for that chick.
Yeah, that bitch didn't know how to dress, but she had that one time to hang
Alright, so she wasn't. Since she wasn't with it, no one was trying to get with her.
But I will dress you though. You know what? I can't be a fashion designer and an artist and not dress you. Like, I'm gonna dress you. Like, if you're my homegirl, my dog, you already getting geared.
The girl was hating because she was broke.
But I get hated on.
She was hating because she was broke.
My mama told me you need to sleep with one eye open. I was in my room like this. Like, that bitch was hating. Well, she hated me. And I was being nice to her.
Rob, the camera. Rob, what's happening, man?
We at 5-minute mark.
All right, 5-minute mark. Everybody want to give their last remarks? Because we never get to what's to be talked about.
These nachos.
So I gotta go. But here's my last remark. Black
Kelly's
men.
my baby. She gets turned up. That's why I love her. She gets turned, and I need that. I need that kind of energy.
Let him say.
Yeah, I gotta go. But here's my last word. Black men. Date your equal, marry your equal, be with your equal. They gotta be your equal. That way you're not crying if it breaks up. It might last for 20 years, it might last for 2 years. But if you date your equal and she has as much to lose as you have to luse, then you're fine because you're taking half of her stuff and she's taking half of your stuff. And you're learning that from a guy who's a divorce lawyer. I usher a lot of marriages into the grave. So I can tell you, the guys who break marriages know how to fix them the most.
This dude said I was a wingman a couple of times, gotta be a G.
You gotta pay back the midway. You take turns being the wingman.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Henry.
I'll be on the next one. Hey.
Always a pleasure, brother. Hey, y'all, this is my brother right here, man. I respect him a lot.
Thank you for coming. That was a good show, Henry.
Any closing remarks?
Henry always has something to say. No, but I will say that I really want to smell some cologne on a good man. I just want to smell him. That's all.
You gonna do that a lot more? It look like your cheese.
Yeah.
Hey, shouts to y'all.
Let me get my closing remarks out, please. We're not going to be able to do it next week. It ain't going to happen. It's going to be over. Real quick. My closing remarks, everybody. Real quick. Y'all went up and had a reason to go up because of the adult cool coach, Nia Long thing. Let me tell you something real quick. Y'all couldn't wait to go in. One, y'all don't know what them two people's relationship is and what it's like. That's one. The other thing, let me tell you women something right now from the heart. Look in the camera. Listen, men are as faithful as their options. Take it, look at your man at home right now. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, that one. In there cooking, mopping floors. We are as faithful as our options. What you need to do, don't be talking about on the table, become the option.
What?
Become the option. That's what you do. You become the option. You become the woman for him that other men look at.
I thought you said
and this is part of the
problem. You said you're a man. He already
This is part of the problem.
He already my man.
Ladies and
He
gentlemen,
already my man,
you
so
already see part of
he's
the
as faithful as his option.
So I'm gonna go out right now by saying,
He ain't even gonna have no fucking option.
we can go over that next week, but don't move me along and why things are going like it's going.
You gotta push the start. It's a push the start.